Hey. Guess what? We're back. Welcome to Christ Connections and Conversations. It is I, your sister, your cousin, your auntie, your friend, Coach Ebony Lachelle. We have the elder, the elder, the elder Kim. Say hey.
Everybody. Hi, y'all. How everybody doing? Happy to be
And
back.
yes, we're back. We're back. It's a family reunion. Do. A family reunion. And
She gonna
the
talk.
prodigal son has
Oh.
returned. You gonna turn your camera on? Say
Really?
hey.
What's happening? What's good, everybody, man? Yeah, we back in the saddle once again, man. It's a joy and amazing time and feeling to ha he laugh, joke. With my two favorite people in the world.
Not your two favorite people.
My 1.5 favorite people.
Feel a little special.
Okay. You special. You special. Close, near, dear to my heart, and it's been a joy, man. Actually, being back in group chats, and he, and laughing, and I know some of y'all gonna trip because by the time y'all click onto this, we would have already been talking for a minute because we got older since we've been away, and niggas be sleeping early now. Niggas go to bed.
Hey!
Oh, I ain't supposed to say the N-word.
No.
Us black. That's black. I didn't.
You can't take it nowhere.
You can't. You're gonna get us. You're gonna get this booted.
Okay, I ain't gonna get us booted. Us older black people, we have aged. We have a little.
Well, you know he been on a hiatus. He don't remember all of the social media rules.
What's the social media rules? Because I've been seeing a lot of stuff on social media. I didn't heard about a lot of social media. People be,
you can't say the N-word.
We can't say the N-word, but they
can say that.
Hold on. I can't say the N-word, but I gotta call. Never mind. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject. I gotta call it him or her and a her or him, and I gotta use
that's gonna get us booted off too. Just say hello.
Hey, I'm done. I'm through.
Thank you.
This is some bull. Where's my
So tonight's topic is, who can I run to?
Share this empty space.
I was excited to get on, so we started like 30 minutes early. We was excited, but I'm about to kick Jay off already.
I'm having some technical difficulties, so I'm gonna jump off my laptop and hop on my phone real quick.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yep.
All right.
We heard that. You gonna bring the cup too? Tell her to bring the cup.
So it's just me and you.
Oh yeah. Hi, Ebony Lachelle. What happened?
Why are you talking like that?
What's happening?
Why are you speaking like that?
What up? You good?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
Good. I seen the little missus in her little bonnet tonight.
You ain't got to tell the people that. You ain't got to tell the people that my daughter was walking around and you seen her in her bonnet. You don't have to tell them that.
Did they see her? I was happy
No.
to okay then. So they don't know. I could be making it all up. You just confirmed it.
But you just said it. You know what? Anyway. So let us discuss the topic. Okay. The topic of tonight. Who can I run to? Coping when your support system fails.
Well, they really my support system.
Huh?
Well, they really my support system. Oh, look at you! I can see you now.
Yeah.
See clearly.
It was the laptop. The laptop wasn't lapping or topping. It wasn't doing something. It was either wasn't lapping or it wasn't topping. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm here now. We are all gathered together in one place.
Oh my God. So Jay said that if your support system fails, were they ever really your support system to begin with?
Ooh, Jay jumping out deep early, ain't he?
I'm not jumping deep because she asked. Okay, so they can see the little thing scrolling at the bottom. It says coping when your support system fails. And I'm like, for the ladies who have support systems, if it fails, were you really supported?
Ooh.
I think that's situational.
Agreed.
No. Like, let's go natural.
Okay.
The strap that you got to hold, and some, if it fails, it breaks and all that stuff. You don't feel supported, so you will never use it again. Some of us use stuff again once it fails. Like, ooh, I'm gonna tie a knot on it and sew some yarn to it, and it's gonna be it failed.
But you try to make it fit, even though you know it ain't. Okay.
Okay, so let me poke a hole in that.
Huh?
I'm gonna poke a hole in that.
Okay.
Okay. So you said use the physical. So we talking about bras.
Over the shoulder boulder holders.
Over shoulder boulder holders. So therefore, if that bra fails, if that over the shoulder boulder holder fails, no, you're not going to use that particular one. But you're not going to stop using bras altogether because that bra broke. That means you don't wore that bra to death. And it was time for a new one. So you don't lose all faith in bras just because that bra broke, because that bra it became worn out and it used all of its potential and capacity. So you're just not like, oh, I ain't never gonna put another bra on because this one broke on me.
But I know people who actually spent some money on some of them boys and they try to hold on to them because of the amount of money on them.
Yeah, but even with that fabric,
Okay. I guess since we gonna stay in the line of broadem, since we talking about bras, just like friendships or just like us, sometimes you outgrow them bras. It's not that they were never there to support you. It's just that the you've grown to now, those people that you had when you first started growing, they're no longer able to help you carry the capacity, the weight of what you now carry.
The load of what you have now.
They just no longer fit. So now you got to go and buy some more that fit. That you appreciate them. They did their job for that season, but you're growing up. And as you grow, everything around you should grow. Typically. So it's not that it failed. It's a possibility that it just no longer fits.
So can we say coping when your support system just don't fit?
Because sometimes it does fail you, though. Sometimes your support system does fail you. Let's be real. Let's be honest. Sometimes who you think is going to be there when the bottom falls out is not there. Let's just be honest. Sometimes you think that if I'm ever in this situation, I know I can call Joe. Joe won't come through for me. And that situation happened, and you call Joe, and Joe looking at you like you crazy. You ain't as tight with Joe as you thought you was. Sometimes your support system does fail you.
So does that go back to what I originally said?
No, I think it goes back to what Ebony says, it's situational.
It's situational. They shift and change because just like if we're making the comparison to the natural, what we said with a woman's bra, if it has become worn and torn, that's situational because when you go buy a new bra and you put that on and it lifts you, it lifts high and you know that's a new, high and lifted up. When it's brand new and they mighty high and mighty lifted up, that's brand new support.
So it's drawing all men unto thee. I
It is.
believe.
It's
I,
drawing.
that's the word.
I don't got on bras, Lord, but you know what? You can use anything. And so we grateful for this bra analogy because it's fitting.
It is. You can, you can take anything and make it preach.
It's fitting. But no, I'm gonna try not to be all churchy, y'all. But
you can't do that.
This week, I have life has caused me to kind of want to read up on Brother Job because there's some things in my life I can relate. And we always hear about Job. It's so quick, like Job. God recommended Job because he was so noble. Job lost everything. Job got everything back. The book of Job is 42 chapters. In the first chapter, Satan walking around here trying to see who life he can turn raggedy. God bumping to Satan like, what you doing, Satan? Like, I'm trying to see who life I can turn raggedy. God having so much faith and adoration for Job, he like, hey, okay, take my homeboy Job. Just don't harm him, don't harm his wife. Anything else, have free access to it. That's chapter 1. Chapter 2, Job started losing everything. All his kids, all his cattle. He done lost everything. Chapter 2. He ain't restored until chapter 42. That means for 38 chapters, Job caught hate. For 38 chapters. Job had 3 friends and his wife. Job probably never would have thought that those 3 friends would have handled him the way that they did while he was going through his trials. I mean, they went to him like, okay, in the beginning, and this is like friendships in the natural if you're going through something. In the beginning, they were kind of like, dang, man, we feel sorry for you or whatever. In the middle, it was like, okay, we kind of getting tired of this. Like, when you going to get up, when you going to pull it together. And towards the end, they slapped going off on Job. Like, look, man, why don't you just curse this guy? Like, they going off on Job. Told Job, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, all this other stuff. Not realizing if you read from an adult standpoint versus what we've been told, Job was going through total turmoil. He couldn't fathom the thought of if God, I'm one of God's favorites, why is he taking me through this or whatever? He didn't understand it. He needed people to push him in a positive direction and help him keep his mind right. Not people to be going off on him, make him, feel worse than he already feel. He didn't think that those people were going to fail him, even his wife. But she did. That's life.
And I get it, and that's a very great analogy. But in this place and space in my life, I don't put anything past anybody. And some people say that's a very hard place to be, or a very non-Christian way to be when you say, I don't put nothing past anybody. They're like, you don't trust nobody? I didn't say I don't trust you. I just don't put nothing past you. Because I've seen some people, once again, support system, that you say you're supposed to trust, that you say you're supposed to love, or that's supposed to love you, or like you said, supposed to have your back, and they're the ones that's holding you back. We can look at blind Bartimaeus. As long as he was blind, he served no purpose. However, when he heard Jesus was passing by, they told him to shut up. Like, hey, don't bother him. And he's like, y'all don't want me healed? Sometimes your pain is the best pain for other people. And it's sad to say that we're talking about support system, because if you're my support system or if I'm your support system, how is it that my pain serves you justice or benefits you? who and or what are you supporting then?
That goes back to the topic. Who can you run to? I honestly think sometimes God allows us to go through things to show you the people around you. Not even necessarily as like a punishment or anything of that nature. He's trying to, he may be trying to teach you some things, but in that process, he's also trying to show you some people that are around you.
And I really think that we see people for who they really are. We just hope and pray that they change because they see the change in us. Oh, if I do them right, they'll do me right. Nah, they won't. Because if it's not in them, they just. Some people can't get right as much as you want them to. They just can't get right, and that's it. But the crazy thing is, we call them our support system. But they can't get right.
So let's back it up. What makes someone a part of your support system? Ebony, what makes somebody a part of your? How? What is your definition of being a part of your support system?
Well, realistically, people are a part of your support system because they're either accountable, they're dependable. Proximity has a lot to do with it, and you can count on them. So if you're in need, if you can reach out to somebody and they're always going to respond, then that's a check. I know I can call such and such, if I have a problem, if I need a listening ear, if my tire blows out on the circle, I know I can call them, they'll come. Things like that puts people in your support system, because while you can even have someone in your support system that's not physically close to you, because if I need this emotional or spiritual support, while somebody may live 1,000 miles away, but if they're going to pick up the phone, if that's a safe place for you to vent, they become relationally in your proximity. So I think there are a lot of different variables that makes up what somebody being in your support system or your circle.
Jay, what does a support system look like for you?
I think your support system, like, I'm about to say something. About to call you something else. Coach Ebony. Just LB. That's it. Golly. So, right. So, Coach Ebony said it so. It really depends on you, who you are, and the type of support you are talking about. Because although they may not be in your city, they might be you spiritually. They might be connected to you emotionally. They might be connected to you psychologically. So it really depends on the area, place, and space that you're in, and depending on what the support is. Because I got brothers that don't stay that far from me. I got best friends or homies that I, grew up with that stay in Michigan, but I don't call none of them people that's proximity wise close to me anybody. You know what I'm saying? Or my word best is like, hey, they're best at this. But when I'm talking about this, they don't fit this. So I really think it's situations on where you are, how you are, when you are, the places that you are in that really let you know who your support system is and or could be.
I will say this. Y'all know I'm transparent, Tracy. I don't mind telling my little business if it's gonna help somebody else. I'm in a Job season right now. I am in a real funky place where it's like I moved in March. Y'all know how expensive it is to move in March, move, period. When I moved, my kids moved at the same time. I helped them with all of their moving expenses. I paid all of my moving expenses. I gave them everything I had when I moved. I moved into my place with just my favorite comforter. That's it. And my clothes and shoes. Gave them everything else. So I'm working In my mind, we cool. I'm just gonna rebuild. I didn't know that less than 3 weeks after I moved into a new place that I was going to be placed on unpaid administrative leave for a lie that somebody blatantly told on me. Even though there's a whole lot of proof, a whole lot of witnesses, a whole lot of everything there that vindicates me, and I could have just returned back to doing what I do. It's been 3 months of no income for me, no income, none. Not to say that anybody ever owes you anything, but the people that I thought was my support system, a lot of them I have not been able to rely on to sew a biscuit into me. But on the flip side of that, people who I never thought, people who I never thought I could turn to for a prayer for anything, are the reason why I'm sitting here and I still got lights on. Are the reason why I'm sitting here and I ain't out the door. People who I never thought, but the people who I just knew I could, ain't sold a biscuit. So who you think sometimes is your support system, life has a way of showing you that they are not. Oh, but we are grateful for the people that God sends and shows us. So that's why I go back to a lot of times people, God allows things to happen in our lives to show us who's around us. And before he start popping off and doing his big one, he needs you to see who you can carry with you until your next. Because the saying is so cliche, but it's so true. The bottom line is everybody can't go. Everybody is not equipped to go to that next level with you. Everybody is not equipped to handle the anointing that's on your life. Everybody can't go. Everybody can't ride. And you just have to get to a place where you're okay with that.
So, since you are transparent, Tracy, um, let's talk about how you are dealing with realizing that the people you thought you could totally and utterly rely on have dropped you.
Initially, it hurts. It stings. Like you, like dang, because these are the same people that you will give your very last and your breath to. Like these are the people that you are willing to do whatever to make sure that they are good. So it hurts when you realize that you ain't as close or y'all not what y'all thought y'all were. But what I'm learning in this journey is you can't stay there. If I laid down every time I've been disappointed in this process, if I laid there every time I've heard no, if I laid there every time I think I'm getting somewhere and I'm snatched back, I would just sit in this storm. I'll never be working my way through it. So although it hurts, you got to process the pain. See, sometimes when we get hurt, we sit there for a while and wait till the pain leaves. But sometimes you got to work through your pain and keep on going. I ain't saying ignore or drop it off. Acknowledge what you feel, but keep on going. You cannot just sit there. So I don't have time to sit and be mad or feel away about the people who I feel like dropping me. I still got somewhere to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta keep going.
So, you got a shout out.
Hey girl, that's my daughter, y'all. My work baby.
Um, so let's talk about the feeling of the ones who have supported in the surprise. How did that shift how your outlook on the support systems?
It's I can't attribute it to nothing but God. Like we have this image in our mind how things are supposed to be and go for us. Like we write our own story.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't really necessarily get to write your own story. So just because of the fact that we're not writing our own story, we don't really have a whole lot of say so of the characters that are in our story. We don't have we don't have the fortitude to be like, okay, I'm gonna keep this person around because this person was good to me, or even though they hurt my feelings, I'm gonna still keep them around. Like when you're in a God moment, it comes a point, and that's what this whole thing is about for me. I've sat with God long enough in these 3 months to know all of this is about me totally surrendering. and allowing God to do whatever He gonna do in my life. It's about me putting the pen down and allowing God to pick up the pen and write and do what He gonna do. I'm grateful for those who He has shown, that have come that I never thought would be here. I'm grateful for them. I thank God for them. Like I said, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be sitting here. But I understand it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. Yes, I'm grateful that I got new people that when I'm feeling the way I can reach out or whatever. I'm grateful that God is expanding my trust because that's something I don't have. I don't trust people like that. You can come to me with whatever, and I'm gonna rock with you and I'm gonna ride. But when it comes to my stuff, no. Mm-mm. So it's God. I'm making my way through this. I'm appreciating new friends. I'm embracing all the newness, getting rid of all the oldness. And I'm able to do that because I now understand where God is going.
Thank you for your transparency.
You are welcome.
Would you?
We gotta be honest, y'all. Like, we have to be careful the things that we put all of our hope and praise and time and everything in. Everyone will tell you, I worked this job. The girl will be sending me Indeed posts while I'm working, like, you need to quit. You need to quit. You need to quit.
For how long?
Almost 4 years. At least no, the last couple.
At least the last two, yeah.
But I made this job my God. I put all of me into this job. I didn't go places. I didn't do anything. I always had my phone on me, always taking phone calls. I made this job an idol. So God had to come through and rearrange some things because I put something in His place. So I'm just in a space where He just realigning the puzzle pieces, and no, it ain't easy. And my support system been a little rocky, but I still have one. And I'm grateful for that. I'm done with my rant. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, I mean, like, this is basically where we come and talk about our lives. Sometimes they know it's our life, and sometimes you don't. Today, this real life.
It is. So be grateful, y'all, for the people that you can count on. Be grateful for the people who God places in your life. Be grateful for the people who you can't count on. Be grateful.
I have learned more through different processes to be grateful for the people that leave.
Mm.
We don't give God enough thanks for the people that leave, for the people that we can't take with us, for the people who no longer have the capacity to hold us anymore. And as you shift and as you grow, that really does happen. And people, we hurt ourselves holding on too long to things we should have let go of. We hurt ourselves like that in a major way. So I be thankful to God. Like, what, that sting a little bit. That hurt my feelings a lot. But you know what? I am thankful that you have shown me and that I was emotionally mature enough to accept that this person no longer needs to be in my life. Because you make space. Because in those times, we can show that, okay, God, I don't really like this. I don't like how that look, but I'm going to continue to trust you. Like, that's when we're going forth and just like trusting God, when you are able to let God navigate you away from something that's comfortable. Because while you have to think you have history with the person who no longer can really hold you because they have held you before. There have been situations where they were able to hold you down. They were able to pour into you. But as you grew from that, on this level, they're not. They're the strap that broke. and you have to be willing to throw that favorite strap away. I'd be thankful for that too.
I'm thankful for when God shows you that you are your support system. There's a time where we put so much faith in people, forget self, and we run to people to be validated about self. And God is like, hey, you don't know how to validate you? Did you not hear what I told you? But you need brother so-and-so or reverend so-and-so to validate what you already knew about you. Didn't I tell you when you prayed to do X, Y, and Z, but you wanted a man to tell you that I told you to do X, Y, and Z? What? So you have no faith in me, but only through another man or woman. How does that work? So you pray to them first, and then and have them to pray to me for you on your behalf.
So transparent moment, God do me like that all the time because I'm a talker, and while I can work it out, I use people as sounding boards, and so I talk things out. Because one, I'm a creative, so I'm like, okay, it's like when I talk to somebody in my mind, I have a visual whiteboard, and so as I'm spitting out all of my randomness at you, I'm literally writing in my mind, and I can see it's like a brain cloud. It's like I can see all of it, and so but it'll be times to where I call 5 people, no, nobody answer the phone. No, nobody answered the phone. And by the time one person called me back, I'd be like, okay. So I'll be like, okay, God. Especially when I'm in the car. So I'm like, okay, I just need to. And nobody answered the phone. So then it just be me and God alone. And I'd be like, all right, God. Okay, that makes sense. I got it. And then when somebody come up, like, I don't figured it out now. But thank you.
Sometimes you're right, Jay.
I feel like I should be in my feelings right now, but I'm not gonna be because we on live. So go ahead, Elder Kim.
Which one your feelings with, sir?
Hey, I may have been part of that 5, Elder Kim, and I don't know if I should feel sometimes.
I've been part of that 5 before too.
You know,
and y'all don't answer the phone. And y'all don't answer the phone. So therefore, I have to talk to me and Jesus. It really be more like 3 people. Because we also know that I will talk to you about anything. Let's talk about it. Yeah. But when it comes to me, I am more reserved and secretive. So I don't tell everything to everybody. And that ain't that many people. 5 was an over exaggeration.
Elder Kim. Oh, hold on. Wait. If I still should feel some type of way, because I don't know if I'm the part of the 3. You know, anyway, go ahead. Go ahead. This ain't about me. This ain't about me. This is about everybody.
It's not about you. It's not about you.
But even with the 3 not answering the phone, even with some of the ones who I thought that I could rely on for certain situations, sometimes God won't allow them to because He's trying to get a point through to you. I'm in this situation. I've had no income for several months. The first month, all I did was text somebody and say, pray for me today. And they sent me my whole rent. I ain't asked for a dime. They was just like, I can pray, but what's your cash app? Like, the second month got a little bit harder. I had to verbally ask for help, which is a struggle for me because I'll give you anything under the sun.
But you ain't gonna ask nobody.
Don't ask nobody for nothing. That's pride. One of the 7 things God hates is pride. Told y'all this whole process, he breaking some stuff up in me. So it ain't easy. It don't feel good, but I'm learning some lessons. So, like I said, the second month was a little hard. You know, I had to break my pride. I had to ask some people. It was emotionally rough. It was rough, but God came through. This third month, God told me, "Don't you ask nobody for nothing." What am I doing? I'll start working to the middle of next month. My rent is they go down to the people on the 12th of the month to get you up out of here. I don't start work till the 15th. What am I gonna do? God obviously already know. Because he told me, don't you fix your lips to ask nobody for nothing. Sometimes God won't allow people to help you because he wants to show you just how big of a God he is. And here's the shout. Even if he don't do it, it doesn't mean that he cannot. There's still something else on the other side of that thing that's gonna make sense when you get there. Sometimes going through, it ain't gonna make no sense. But our support system fails. Thank you, Jesus. We still have you to catch us. Thank you, God, for being a support system. He's the ultimate support. If we ain't got nothing or nobody, we can always fall back and rely on God. And that's a blessing.
Do our support system sometimes fail because we have unrealistic expectations of them?
That could be true too. That could be true too. Sometimes we put people in categories because we think we know their stuff. We think we know, what they're capable of doing. We don't know everybody's business.
It's not that we think. Sometimes we know what they're capable of. Like I know you can do. I know I've seen you do it. Matter of fact, you've done it before. But just because you've done it before,
but again, because they did it before.
That's it.
You know,
I think that it's the pedestal syndrome. And we put people in places where they were never meant to be. Sometimes we put people in places where God should have been. And we turned around and made, like you said before, we made them our God, not knowing that that's what we were doing. We just thought we were being cool. We just thought we just had a good best friend or this, that, and the other, ... We
made somebody God. We made them a little God in our
yeah, we did. We did. And we starting to puff them up, and we're starting to make them our golden image and stuff, not knowing and realizing that when they fail, how big of a fall it was going to be for you.
Oh.
Yes, they failed you, but how big of a fall was it for you personally? Because some of it put us back in a place where God was like, so you're back. And we're going to do better this time. You're going to listen this time. I got you. I'm going to listen this time. So, square 1.1, we're going to do this now, right? So I think it's a humbling situation. I'll use that. And we are back at square 1, and we know nothing to do but to lean, trust, and depend.
Can you recover relationships when you feel that they have failed you?
For somebody who said they ain't got no questions or nothing for us, I mean, you just come.
Can you? You know she's an off the domist.
I'm an off the dome person. I don't.
I'm sorry. When you eat something and it don't agree with your stomach, what do you do?
When I am about to kick you off of the podcast and you will no longer be here.
Ask your question again, Ebony. I'm sorry.
Yeah, ask the question again. I forgot. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck? Okay, come on. Let's go.
Put the Jay sleeping.
You're backstage and they'll know when you like, oh. Okay, what's the question?
Ask it again.
Can relationships recover when you feel that they have failed you?
If you want them to. If they need to. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it right there until y'all answer.
I think that they can, but I think that all involved parties have to, one, be willing to forgive and to work through whatever the issues may be. All involved parties have to also understand the other person's side of it. Just because this is how you feel or felt does not mean that that's how, that the other person felt the same way about that said situation. Um, I think a lot of issues stem in relationships, friendships, whatever, because of ineffective communication. If you communicate effectively, not to respond, but to actually actively hear what the other person is saying, you can avoid a lot of arguments like that. Because I'm thinking you said something and you said something else, but I think you said this and now I'm mad because I thought you said this, when that ain't even really what you meant. So the easiest thing would have been to do was to get clarity and say, is that what you meant? But now you over here and I'm over there and we over here when we should still be here because all we have to do is communicate.
What you got to say, Jay?
I don't know, because she took it somewhere else and I was like, I wanted to do that, but I wanted to stay in the same vein as the question. So let me separate mine then. When you're talking about a support system, I think when you are true and honest about the situation to that person, it really depends on that person to say, hey, you know what? I get where I failed. Da 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 da, ba 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 ba, and we learn how to move on together. When you're talking about a relationship with a person, as far as like your man, your woman, your husband, your wife, your person failed you, can that relationship mend? I think yes. My sissy was right. There was a huge lack in communication. There was a breakdown in the conversation, and nobody really understood. I didn't understand you and your position, nor did you understand me and my position. So in conversation, I think we need to be a little bit more transparent about our situation and or our place in that situation, so we can best be able to benefit from one another being in each other's life.
I agree. Accountability, basically. Both parties being accountable.
I don't want to use it because we use that word so much, and it's like,
but it's true.
Definition of it for today? Like, because yesterday accountability could have been you told me that I had one too many chips, and now today you telling me I was supposed to fast and I didn't fast, or I didn't pray as long as I was supposed to say it out. Like,
it's simple. Accountability just simply means to be honest with yourself about whatever it is at hand. If you say I need an accountability partner, I'm gonna need you to help me stay honest with myself about this plan. If I say I'm going to be accountable in my relationship with you, I'm going to look at your point of view with things, and if I realize I did or said something that made you feel away, even though that wasn't my intention, I still have to be accountable for my action. Accountability equals truth.
Whose truth?
It depends on the situation.
But isn't the truth the truth?
Not always. Your truth might not be my truth.
Truth and reality are two different things.
Boom. That's what I was waiting for.
Truth and reality are two different things.
But truth still rests in reality. It just depends on how accountable one wants to be and admit when something is the truth. Truth still rests in reality.
Because everybody's reality isn't the same, though.
Everybody's reality isn't the same.
I just
But
said
that's
that.
what goes back to when I
was agreeing with you.
Oh, my
even if what I said or what I did, I didn't mean it that way. If you took it that way, it's still your truth. You felt that way. I have to be accountable for my actions and respect your truth. It's hard to be accountable when you're not being truthful.
Sure enough.
If you gonna deny, that's not accountability.
I agree. I definitely agree. I think that for self, when you become accountable for self, or when you become your own support system, I think your truth should be just that, your truth, and be honest with your truth, because your reality might look one way, but the truth about that reality might be something totally different. Some of us think we can fit in a 1X, but baby, you need to go ahead, go on up a notch. Take it on up. One more.
So wait. So the truth is the truth is you can fit in the 1X. The truth is you might can fit in the 1X, but the reality of it is that 1X is tight and you need to go up.
You're suffocating. I can see your vein. I can take blood from the vein that I see. Never mind. Go ahead. Amen. Hallelujah.
Oh, Jesus. Help us, God.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ebony, Coach Ebony.
I don't even have nothing else.
I'm just because the thing is that we've seen people out and about, and we look at them in their reality, and then the back of our mind, we're like, ooh, that color for your hair was not. No, I know in your reality you look cute, but one eyelash is here and the other eyelash is here, and you trying to wink at somebody. Now I don't know if you got a fan on one eye.
It's okay.
So when we're truthful about our reality, we have to be honestly truthful about our reality. Like let's be real. If the doctor is saying XYZ, we need to be serious about XYZ. If you know your counselor and or therapist said that you need to XYZ, then you honestly need to XYZ, because A, B, and C ain't working. And they've already told you XYZ is what you need to be doing, but you still trying to do elemental P. And elemental P ain't nowhere near XYZ. And the only way you can get better is if you do X, Y, and Z. And our reality, we still feel if I'm in the alphabet somewhere, I'm good. No. Yes.
Okay. Question.
Focus.
Oh God. When she laughed before the question, I just
You mentioned something about being your own support system. Is just totally relying on yourself just a trauma response to being dropped in the past?
Yeah.
Have to be.
Yeah.
It don't have to be. It probably is, but it don't have to be.
That's a trauma response.
It's definitely a trauma response. We are not, I don't care in what capacity, we are not even created to be totally isolated and totally
isolated.
When it's a trauma response, you are so afraid or so used to being let down and disappointed that you develop the I'll do it myself mentality about everything. And that comes from being disappointed. It comes from trauma. Nobody wakes up and say, I'm just going to do my own thing today, forget people, I don't want to be around people. That's not, I mean, if they do, that ain't really quote unquote normal. It always stems from a place, a traumatic place.
It does. But the flip side of that is it don't have to stay that traumatic place. Sometimes you have to realize that you can depend on you, because we've depended on everybody else, and we've had yet to realize that there's some things that I know I can do. I choose not to do.
And
So
there,
I depend on other people to do it. And until you learn how to do for you, you will never really know what you can do.
I agree with that.
You never know,
There,
but you
you like we said earlier, there are times that God won't allow anybody to be there for you. You know, how many people in the Bible took sabbatical? Even Jesus went off to be by himself for a while. There are periods and times where it's necessary for you to be alone. But that's just a period and a time.
yeah.
That should not be a lifelong
Yeah.
thing where
No,
all of
never.
everything is solo.
Never. I
It's
mean,
good for man to be alone.
yeah, never. But the Bible also do say trust in love with all your heart, not everybody else's. So there's a point in period in time where you gotta learn how to do some stuff for you
Most
with
definitely.
because of you. Because there's some places, like we said before, everybody can't go, everybody won't go, and everybody don't deserve to go.
Mm.
Even Steve Harvey said there's some
They
people
don't
that
deserve to go.
like no, but Steve Harvey said, like, for real, he like there's some people that's on your boat that ain't rowing.
Mm.
You got a support system, but you got one person that just on for the ride. And when it's time for them to get off, they'll get off because they used you up.
Mm.
So sometimes you have to understand we've already rowing for some extra people in our lives. And sometimes we have to learn how to, like, hey, I can't allow you to be on this ship no more. This is your departure. Here's your life jacket. I'll see you.
I had to learn this. While I am friends with or to a lot of people, I ain't got a lot of friends. Just because you have the capacity to be something in somebody's life does not mean that they have the capacity to reciprocate that to you. Sometimes we get angry. We talked about this a little bit earlier because people don't respond the way that we think they should. Sometimes they just can't. They don't know how. They've never had to deal with life on the level that you're dealing with life on. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to do. We get mad at them because they just don't know. They just don't have the capacity. Go ahead, Jay.
What happens when you find that you are carrying your support system?
Oh.
No, because there's it's funny. going back to Steve Harvey, it's like sometimes we carry people for so long and we think they've helped, but when we look back over our life and we think things over, you actually were carrying them. You
so
just got
you had a pseudo support system, like you psyched yourself out.
Yeah, I mean it's like
no, it's like you're that person in that group that has the capacity to carry everybody in that group. But then when your stuff start falling off, only 2 out of the 4 people in the group are strong enough to carry you. But you're just now finding this out because you've never had to rely on the whole group. You've always had those solid 2, but what happened when you need all 4 and the other 2 don't have the capacity to carry you?
Let me go back to
This is why you need healthy boundaries. I say that all the time.
Well, see this. Let me go back to something Sissy said when I was on Facebook years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. How do you even remember?
She put a post out. Check on your healthy friends or
strong friends.
Strong friends. Yeah, check out your show because they ain't always strong. And sometimes it comes to a point where you realize that you've been strong for so long. When you actually need a vulnerable moment, they can't hold your vulnerability. That's why it's hard for a lot of preachers to be so vulnerable with other preachers, because you sometimes everybody can't hold your humanity. And sometimes preachers, teachers, prophets, evangelists, even ushers over there, they need somebody to be able to vent to and just be real, because they don't always have a hallelujah. Sometimes they got a this MF over here.
Mm-hmm. And everybody can't
hold that.
I'm gonna tell y'all something, and I'm gonna be quiet.
Don't be jumping up in the dang on camera like I said something wrong.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. That was ghetto.
No, go. You. Come on, she jumping on in the camera.
I'm for real. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
He done.
I'm done. So something took place this week. I told y'all my little story, right? So I'm a part of this group chat with some friends. And there was a point in time where the group chat used to be jumping, laughing, kiki, and jumping. But life is lifing for me, so I'm not as active as I have been. They still kiki and ha. Every once in a while, I have the time to jump in and kiki ha. But I'm over here trying to figure out what I'm gonna eat for, like how I'm gonna eat. Like life is lifing for me. So, but like I said, every once in a while, I'll stop in if I have an update or whatever. So somebody in the group chat who I feel like I've been a big sister to the end. And there have been some times when we've had to have conversations and they had to get me together too. But somebody in the group chat hit me up and was like, basically, they felt the way because I don't comment in the group chat anymore unless the word she said was, unless you need something from us. The most I've ever asked y'all for was a job reference, but I digress. And she felt the way because that's the only time I say something. So it makes everything that you're dealing with seem iffy. And since it feels that way, and since you don't have time or whatever it is, I'm just going to disconnect myself. At what point in the game did you not hear everything that I'm dealing with, everything I'm going through, everything? So initially I got pissed. Detroit came out. I got pissed because what are you talking about? Girl, I'm over here struggling to fight.
Tell me her name.
Bed every day, and you coming at me because I forget to come over here and cackle?
What's her name?
It don't matter. It doesn't even matter.
I'm like that little girl London. What's her name?
It's okay.
Tell me her. Tell me her.
No, I had to snap out of it instantly. Because she only knows me in happy times. She only knows me.
People can't handle that. People can't handle when you are not bubbly. They can't handle it. Like I am typically, we know, I'm bubbly, I'm giggly, I'm on, 8.5, 9 most of the time. But those who really know me, those in my circle, know that there are some 2s and some 1s and some negatives in there. And when you happen to call me and catch me, if I answer the phone,
what's wrong?
You this is not the typical you. Call and check on me sometimes. So yeah, I get it.
It's like she's never seen me in this. My circle knows I'm a solutionist, and when I don't have a
solutionist,
I shut it all the way down. And it's not intentional. I just need process. I be needing time. It ain't nothing against you. I still love you. I'm gonna bounce back. I'm gonna come back. Everything gonna be good. But I just have a certain way of coping and dealing with things. She's never seen me in this capacity, so it made her feel a way as if maybe my friendship wasn't genuine. I can't be mad. So if you watch, well, I was about to say if you're watching this, but she deleted me. But I still love you. I don't have any oughts against you. I realize you just don't know me. You don't know all areas of me. You know a certain part of me.
And everybody will never know all. Everybody can't know all the parts.
That's true.
They just, because one of y'all said earlier, They just literally don't have the capacity. I think that was you, Jay. Don't have the capacity to take all of that. They don't have the capacity to know when you at -5 because they don't have what it takes to pour into you to at least just even to get you back to zero.
I'm gonna say, and this, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this real quick, and I'm done talking. And this, I never really use this jargon, but I'm coming into a realization of some things. When you are anointed, you need anointed friends.
Oh, most definitely.
Your
Who gonna help you get over?
Who can carry what you carrying? Because your feelings gonna be hurt, or somebody's feelings gonna be hurt when life and the things start moving differently, and folk don't really know what to do with you in that capacity.
Everybody can't hold the oil on your life.
Because you don't know the cost.
And that part, you don't know what it took for me to get where I'm at. It's funny you even went that way because we had a pastor today and he was talking about David.
Ooh.
And how when all of Jesse's sons was in the house, the oil never ran. And the prophet said, Jesse, is this all? If that's, I want something to eat too, because it sounds like he's making something good in there. Aiden, if that's you, I want some food. Look at you. Yes, I do. Hey, don't wave them off. I want some food.
Can you stay on topic?
Oh, I'm sorry. Tis
Jesse.
food. Tis food. No, but he said, Jesse, is this all? And he said, well, there is one. Him out there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think you was even talking about him because all of these in here were groomed for what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Some people thought that just because you were in the midst of all of them, they didn't understand that you had oil that you've been praying for. And then when it runs, they wasn't going to be able to be recipients of your presence anymore. So now they just want the old you because the new you is too much for them. And since you're not the old you, this new you is disrupting something all inside. And what it really is God is like, hey, that's not the same person, but you're going to find out real soon. And now that your hallelujah is being a little bit louder, blind Bartimaeus, since you know I'm walking past, now you want more. You're looking for more. Your light is shining. God is like, come on over here. Like, ooh, I can't take you because you two, ooh, you ain't the same person no more. I can't shine when you're the way you are. I don't look good when you're growing the way you're growing. Yeah, I'm used to my finger being on you and always being a step above you. I see what's getting ready to happen, and since I can't put my finger on you, I just need to remove myself.
So you saying that your support system will fail you sometimes because they literally just don't want to support you no more?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you?
Some of them can't.
Sorry, my phone's ringing.
Oh, okay.
They don't know how, but they don't know how to support this. They knew that, and since you're no longer that, this ain't conducive for what they got going on because they was trying to pimp you, and now they can't pimp you no more. Now you're no use to them, and see, you didn't know it was a pimping because I shined off of you. I gleamed off of you. I took what you said and put it in a post and made it like it was my own. When we was in a conversation, You said something. I said, "Ooh, that's a good post," and I posted what you said as if it was mine, and I got a whole bunch of like. So since
your
you,
stuff, huh?
so since you're not, since I can't win from off of you, I don't need you.
So you saying we got some unintentional Judases in our camp that become intentional Judases once they realize that you might finna outshine them.
You finna shine, and they, golly, Jay.
Yeah.
Well, you studied this week, did you?
He did. He got all
Did
deep
you
down off in that word.
you preached today, right?
Yeah.
You
No,
preached
I was
today, didn't
no,
it?
actually I was supposed to, but we had the visiting pastor come in.
Golly, but that's
You
good.
had
That
studied
is
a little
good.
bit.
That's really, really good. That's good. That is great. A great word, because sometimes there are people in your circle who be in your circle until they feel like you said, you something to pop off. That's amazing. But like Ebony said, it's not always intentional. I don't believe that Judas set out to be a Judas. I don't believe that was his total I take it back to the word. I don't know. Maybe
I mean, in the beginning,
he probably had good intentions.
he probably had good intentions, but they shifted.
But then don't that make you wonder why Jesus brought him along anyhow?
Because he had a role to fulfill. Because we just say that would mean when I leave home with the desire to do right every day, your intention shifts somewhere.
The story
But wrong overtake you. Your intention in the beginning was to be a good, upstanding citizen that day.
Mm-hmm.
But that ain't always what happened.
Even Peter too. We don't talk about how shady Peter was. No, we always just complain Judas under the bus. Peter was a little shady too, but no, it's going back to friendships. I guess we can look at Jesus as a blueprint for friendships as well. He done had all kind of friends. He had all kind of friends in this circle who he thought he was a thief before walking with Jesus. Judas was a thief. Make you wonder why Jesus put him on in his camp.
I mean, because because somebody gonna always revert back to their old ways. He had purpose, because had he not had that one person who turned when the situation got sticky, then Jesus would have never gotten to his destiny.
It would have played out different.
It would have played out different.
It's crazy how, and once again, I'll go back to Sissy, the old cliche, what the devil meant for evil, God will mean it for your good and stuff. And we sometimes never see it because we're so used to, let's go back to our topic, we so used to that support system being there, but we didn't realize that fumble that they did on us was necessary for us to get back to the place where God intended for us to be, and that was back in his presence.
There is absolutely nothing wasted in God.
No.
I don't care how bad that thing is, how unnecessary it seems. God gonna use every ounce of everything. And it might not make sense at that moment, but as you matriculate through life, he gonna make that thing make sense.
Preacher. Come on, preacher.
Hush up. No, for real, there's nothing wasted in God. He's gonna use all of it. The good pieces, the bad pieces, the short pieces, the long pieces, the white pieces, the black pieces. He's gonna put them all together. He's gonna use some things. And guess what? They all, because he ain't a man that's gonna tell us a lie. So they all gotta work out for your good. Every last one of them. No matter how bad, no matter what they did, no matter how they did it, no matter how long they did it, all that stuff's gonna work out for your good. And they got to, because if it don't, that'll make God a liar. He ain't never told a lie.
What, Jay? And put your glasses on.
Did he? That profile, my brother Malcolm.
Hey, watch this. Can I, Coach Ebony, I'm gonna go back to the question I asked you. Ready? But I'm gonna do it in the TD Jakes form. No. It's good.
Okay.
What happens when your spouse can no longer be your spouse, and they tell you that they can no longer support you the way that they've been supporting you down through the years. Yes.
And I'm gonna answer like I answered then. Because it really just depends on, there's so many different ways. So are we saying that your spouse saying they don't want to be with you no more?
Okay, so let me do this. Seriously. So let me do this. What happens when in your relationship, when you're talking about support, the love, the give, the grow, you become the 80 and your person becomes the 20?
Well, realistically,
because we said we was
supposed to be, your vows say through good and bad, happy, sad, all of that, blah blah blah.
But some of us
hold on.
Said that.
Huh?
Elwin said that. Go ahead.
I mean, for good and for bad. Okay, through the good times, through the bad times. So realistically, there are supposed to be times when somebody is going to give 100, somebody's going to give 0, somebody's going to give 80, somebody's going to give 20, somebody's going to give 70, somebody's going to give 30. You have to, and even in that, what makes it or breaks it is the person's intent and what they are giving, because my emotional and spiritual and physical capacity may only be 30%. But if I am giving all of that 30%, then I am giving you everything that I have. You know, let's say, for an example, let's say a person who has chronic depression, or for a new mother who is experiencing postpartum depression, she may only have 30 to 40%. But if she is giving all of her 30 or 40%, she is actually operating at maximum capacity. It is her partner's duty to handle the rest of it until we can get her back to her 100. So you're supposed to work that thing out, but it's the intent of both parties. Yes, sir.
I will let Sissy answer before I go back and go to the question that we have scrolling at the bottom.
Well, she done said everything that needs to be said. Every day, both people are not going to be at 100%. It's going to be very rare in a marriage that both people are fully operating on 100% all the time. You know, like she said, it's going to be different levels, but it's the intent behind it, and it's the bottom line of, are we working to fix this, or are we just going to let this thing go?
And hold on, one more thing, Jay. And coping when your support system fails.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's subjective.
My question.
It's subjective. It's subjective because, and that goes back to what Elder Kim said, is that if you communicate, then you will find that your support system won't fail. Because if you tell, hey, this is all I have to give you right now, this is all I got, but I'm giving you everything I got. I'm giving you everything I got, then it ain't. Yes.
Elder Sissy, I'm going to cover up this part of the screen because that's where evidently Cheryl is. I'm going to talk to you because she stole my question. She stole where I was going. No. But
you get mad because I answered?
No. It's not that. But here's the thing, though. We don't always communicate. We don't always be honest with each other and ourselves about where we are in the places and spaces that we're in. So going back once again to our strolling topic, you failed me because we did not communicate. I'm still hurt about the failing. You're my support system. You failed me when I needed you. Although I understand where you are, you didn't communicate to me where you were. And when I needed it, and when but you still failed me. That's the part. You still failed me.
But you failed yourself as well.
You failed yourself. There you go. You failed yourself.
Which is the same thing I said before. Y'all like, I don't know, because that's trauma. And that
It is trauma. It is trauma. It's still
How
trauma.
is it trauma though? How is it trauma? I'm in a relationship. I'm married to you. I'm married
You did not communicate. And ineffective communication causes trouble.
So now we're in marriages full of trauma.
It stems from trauma.
It stems from trauma.
It's all trauma.
So why are we married?
You know, everybody experiences some level of trauma. Your trauma.
Oh, I want some cookies.
But we all in our 40s. We've all experienced some level of trauma. We all single, as in not married, single. We all probably desire to be married again. We gonna come with a little bit of trauma.
That's right, Shanika.
You're absolutely right.
But that goes back to what? Communication.
Yeah.
We all have this thing, especially us women, a man here. Babe, how you doing today? I'm fine. No, you're not. Girl, you ain't fine. You ain't fine. But my fine be, I'm fine because I don't want to put no more on your plate. I don't want to ever feel like a burden to my person. You know. So
but they supposed to be there to help you bear your infirmities.
That part.
So is your support system.
I know.
That part.
I struggle with that.
We know.
I struggle real bad with that.
We know.
So maybe
that part. Like I want to be at a point where I'm okay for me, but I'm also okay for you when you can't be okay for you. But I need to know and make sure that I'm still okay for me. That's what I was saying when you learn how to be your own support system.
You ain't say all that.
Extra question, Jay. As a man, have you ever been in a situation where you have been on zero and a woman has come in and allowed you, or she's come in and gave you 100% of her and pushed you back up to 100? As a man, have you ever experienced being loved in that way?
Yes.
Supported in that way? Yes. I have. How did you receive that? Was it hard for you?
I didn't. That's why I'm single. But here's the thing. But here's the thing, though. So let's do transparency. Okay, I'm not transparent, Tracy. I can't be. I'd be Terry. Let me be transparent, Terry.
There are guys named Tracy Morgan.
So let me be Terry, not Tracy.
Okay, Terry.
Okay.
So I was not healed enough to realize that what she gave is what I needed. But what I needed, she gave, and I didn't know how to receive it. Because it was too much for me, not being able to do it for me, to have somebody else to do it and to say, hey, this is what you need. And me being a man, like, yeah, all right, I know.
So sometimes we feel like,
hey, so what you trying to say? You better than me now? You better than me? Huh? Like, bro, I'm just trying to lead you to the water and you want mud.
It's a circle, y'all. We talk. I'm sorry.
But I'm at a point now where I realize that, hey, Jonathan, you okay? I had a therapist. She says, you know what your problem is, Jay? I said, what? She says, you don't congratulate yourself. She says, why don't you congratulate yourself on the small victories? She said, it's okay. And I said, what you mean? Well, when you do some of the small stuff that you say, when you finish this, when you do this, when you do this, when you do that, you don't say, you know what, Jonathan, you did that.
Good job. Mm-hmm.
Good job. You're making progress. And I was like, am I supposed to do that?
Yeah.
grown man. I'm asking you a question. Am I supposed to say?
Yes.
And it's like, bro, you that broke where you don't know how to congratulate yourself? So when I say learning how to be your own support system, it's at a place and a point where you can say, good job. Hey, you said you was going to do 3 sets of 15. You did 3 sets of 15. Good job. Hey, you said you was going to make it to work every day this week at 8 o'clock. Guess what? You made it every day this week at 8 o'clock. Good job. Hey, you said you was going to put 150 up every week for the next 3 weeks. You did it for 5 weeks. Good job. If I don't know how to support me, for any man that's listening to this, if you don't know how to support you as a man, when you get that woman, you will never know how to let her support you. And the fight will always be, why are you trying to be the man? Baby, trying to be the man. I'm trying to support my man and let him know that he's the man. I just know some other stuff that you don't. And it's okay to learn from her, especially when she's trying to do a Beyonce and upgrade you instead of trying to call you, no, I don't want no scrub.
So, in closing, there's and levels to a support system.
Yes.
But they all, after Christ, it all starts with you.
It all starts with you.
It starts from the way you communicate. It starts on the way you receive things when being communicated to. It starts on your expectations. All of those things start with you. You've got to be, next to God, the strongest part of your support system, or you will forever feel failed and let down.
There is nothing wrong with being selfish sometimes in your life.
It's my favorite saying. It's not unfair to be fair to yourself.
Sometimes you got to be the best you that you can be for you.
Yeah.
Because that teaches other people how to be the best them to you, for you.
Agreed.
Come on, put your place up here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to our broadcast. You guys could have been anywhere else, doing something else with somebody else. But we're thankful that you. Go ahead.
Get some love.
This has been You, Me, and the Trinities, Christ Connections and Conversations. Who can I run to? Coping when your support system fails. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's a reunion. We'll be back. Bye.
Raise the roof for Jesus. Hallelujah.